A Q drop is an opportunity for a student who feels that they may not be able to pass a class at a certain point in the semester for many, many reasons. They're able to Q drop a class and therefore the grade won't negatively affect their GPA.
So there's lots of different reasons a student might be considering Q drop. Some of the most common are we see students that maybe in that class they're just struggling. Maybe the content is a lot more difficult than they thought it would be. A lot of students are transitioning over from high school, and so it can be overwhelming, and maybe they just weren't quite prepared for that class. And so it was kind of that idea of, I'm not doing well, instead of wanting to affect my GPA, it might be better for me to just drop it. Some other reasons students might come in considering Q drop would be if there's some sort of emergency or crisis that's happened for that student that's really affecting their schoolwork. And our case managers will absolutely talk through that process, and we're available to talk through other resources for that situation that the student might need.
There are a few things students should keep in mind about Q drops.
So anytime we are meeting with a student and they are thinking about Q dropping a class, we always kind of start with that it's a great idea, and we encourage students to meet with their academic advisor. While it doesn't affect their GPA, it could affect their degree plan at some point if that class is a prerequisite for something they were planning on taking next semester, or if, in the long run, maybe they don't need that class and so it could be replaced with something else.
Undergraduate students are allowed 4 Q drops at Texas A&M. The state of Texas actually only allows 6 for their undergraduate career at schools in the state of Texas.
What that means is if you decide to use all 4 of your Q drops at A&M, but maybe you go to another state institution, you would still have 2 left.
So the three-peat exclusion clause refers to if a student needs to take a particular course, a non-repeatable course, more than twice, then they will be charged an additional fee for that course. So this is really to try to encourage students to making progress towards their degree and some of those pieces, but if they have attempted a course at least 2 times, then on that 3rd try for that course, they will be charged an additional fee.
One of the things we always want to consider is if your student is looking at maybe more than one class that they're struggling in, then we want to maybe think about what's called a withdrawal. A withdrawal simply says, I'm going to drop all of my classes. It's different from a Q drop in that I'm withdrawing, so it's not going towards my Q drop count, and it won't affect my GPA to go ahead and just withdraw from all of my classes. If that is done after the 12th class day for a student, they can register for the next semester as long as they don't have any registration holds.
Students often have some misconceptions when it comes to Q dropping.
So one of the common misconceptions about Q dropping is that if students don't wait until the deadline to Q drop, they may either owe A&M money or it could somehow affect their funding. And it does not affect any funding for that particular semester. It could potentially affect financial aid moving forward in that there is a completion percentage that has to happen in order to maintain eligibility for financial aid. And so students who are wanting to Q drop, that's a good reason again to talk to their academic advisor, but also they may want to check with financial aid or Aggie One Stop to make sure that that class won't affect any future eligibility for financial aid.
Students have resources through Student Life to help them navigate hard times, Q dropping, or withdrawing.
So Student Life can support students who are looking into Q dropping or withdrawing by helping ask some of those questions, finding out what caused this, how did you get here, and trying to make sure they're connected to resources so that these same things that caused them to get here in this semester won't repeat.
Helping them understand the process. It can seem really overwhelming to students. And so one of the things we want you to know is if your student is in that position and they're unsure of what to do, please have them reach out to someone in Student Life to just kind of talk them through what that may look like. We can also help your student get connected with who their academic advisor is to have some of those conversations, as well as get connected with somebody at Aggie One Stop if they need to have conversations about aid that it may affect. So we always say, it's better to have the information up front and know what you're getting yourself into. We really encourage students to come have those conversations with us ahead of time and early so that we don't run into the deadline and then it's too late.
Our contact information is 979-845-3113 or studentlife@tamu.edu. Our offices are located in Suite 209 of the Student Services Building.